Hello, everybody. How's it going? Pardon me. Hello, everybody. How are y'all doing? Now, y'all, before we get started, please drop a number 1 if you can hear me in the comment section. That way I'm not just talking to myself, although I do like to talk to myself, and most of the time I do answer my own questions to myself. So we're not trying to shame that, but it wouldn't be any fun for y'all to just listen to me have one of those conversations with myself today. Okay. Let me come back over here. Let me go boom, 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 boom. And number 1, everybody, thank you. First and foremost, let's welcome our lovely Miss Emily into the chat. She's our moderator-in-chief and our friend and a wonderful human being, and we do appreciate you, Miss Emily. I hope your Sunday has been blessed and that you had a nice service this morning. Let's also, secondly, give Murder Nerd a round of applause, for she has supplied us with the signed book of Chad Daybells that we shall be endeavoring into in probably about a month. And I hope you're doing well, Murder Nerd. How is everybody doing? Welcome to the damn sofa, everybody. I hope y'all are doing well. Let's just see who. Hey, Vipes, Adventure, Bren, Nirvana, Barbara, Mama Goose. I hope everybody's doing good. Hey, Carol. Hey, Lisa Lee. How's it going? Rain, what's up? Southern Mimi. Hey, Old Soul. Hey, Vicky. Hey, Desiree. Patricia. Baby Bear Mom. Sandy, what's up? Hey, Audra. How's it going? Hey, Jenny. Hey, Huma. Hello, Heather. Are you in the library? I hope so. I like libraries. Have you ever been to, or heard of the NC State Library here, where it has that little robot that does everything? It's pretty nifty. Anyways, I hope y'all are doing well. So y'all, tonight, please hold. Tonight we're going to be doing a couple of different things. We're going to be looking at a video of, we're going to start off with the Madeline Soto case. Now, y'all, 800 pages of documents have come out. It's major, it's deep, it's horrifying. We're going to look at basically one video by Vinny from Court TV. I watched it, or I was like, or I shouldn't say that, I listened to it earlier, part of it, and I was like, okay, I want to go over this one just to kind of talk about some of these updates and whatnot, because we'll just listen to it and we'll get into it then. We will end on a lighter note, because that is obviously a very disturbing case. It is horrible. It is tragic. We'll end on a lighter note by watching the full version of the Sarah Boone case. The other night we watched it, but it was like the Court TV version, so parts of it were cut out, and I did a video, but it was based on that. So we're going to watch that just because I haven't seen it yet. So I want to see the whole, like, I want to hear what she had to say, right? So, and obviously we already knew with Sarah Boone, her lawyer is begging to get off the case now. That was the headline of it. It was totally funny. And also, before we move on, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, and happy Father's Day. So I know usually it's just mostly moms and women and people who watch my channel, but if there are dads out there, and people filling all the roles of that, we do thank you for your job that you do in the household. And happy Father's Day to all. I hope it was a joyous, wonderful day for you and your families. And hold on one second. Oh, hey, Dwayne. How's it going? It's good to see you. Hey, Catablue. Cat Balu. I hope I'm saying your name right. Now, before we even jump into that, though, this is completely out of... Well, there's a few things. We're going to go over some housekeeping here. Hey, Sky Troop. Awesome, Sky Troop. Happy Father's Day. I hope it was a good one for you. Here, so I live near a lake, and y'all, the lake, you already know. It was, depending on where you're at, it was a gorgeous day here. That lake was shut down. They had the forest ranger, the rangers on the thing saying, can't park here. It's already shut off. It's shut down. All those dads were out there. All those families were out there. It's so nice to see that. It's really heartwarming just to see people out enjoying life. Love Cat. Love Cat, is that from The Cure, or are you just a love cat? And I appreciate you staying up. Okay, so we're going to go over a few things. So first of all, if you are watching, this is the podcast channel. So make sure you're subscribed to this one. My main channel is where I put mostly edited videos, and we do like big event lives over there. It's in the description. Check that out. Hey, Chrissy. And there's those two things. There's that. Now, a couple of things. I started another podcast, but it's on the other channel, and it's really just, you probably wouldn't even know the difference of it, but YouTube started the podcast thing, so I'm gonna have to figure that out, because this here, I call it the podcast, but it's really just where I go live. But now I have started a real podcast where I'm putting the book readings and stuff like that we do. Now, on that note, we have started, and we're going to see how this first month goes, but we're doing a book club on like the members, the Patreon things, because a lot of us were talking about that book Long Haul, and I was like, you know what, it's way more serious than the stuff I usually do. I was like, this might be a good members thing to do. So here's what we're doing for those that are interested in, and just to follow up for those who are already part of that or whatever. It's Long Haul. That's what we're going to be reading. We're going to basically just read it, touch base in a month, do a live chat, and that's that. So July 10th, I will put out a thing to kind of firm up when it's going to be, to give us that little week or whatever. We officially started yesterday, so like July 15th, around there is when we'll do the live chat. If it goes well and people like it, we'll keep going. Now, on that note, if you follow me on Instagram, you saw I was at the bookstore today, and I saw these, and I was like, I want to get these handheld ones, number one, just for the set and to have them. But I thought they might be good books to read for that book club down the road. This one right here, Cults. I just skimmed through it, and I was like, first one, Charles Manson, please put in the cart immediately. Inside the world's most notorious groups, and understand the people who join them. And then, a lot of you probably already read this, Unmasked, Paul Hulse. I really wanted to read this, so I figured we might be able to jump down those. Pardon me. And do that later. So, so that's down. That's that. So, I know, right? Me too, murder nerd. Charles Manson was one of my intros into true crime. Jay, I appreciate it. Okay, now this is completely, so a few things here. Let me say these few things before we jump into it. We're kind of going down cringe street here. So first of all, these are the videos coming out, and I only want to say this so I can quickly talk about it, because I'm literally dying for these to come out this week so I can read the comment section. First of all, Gypsy Rose Life After Lockup. First 2 episodes, I filmed my reaction to it this morning. I'm talking pure damn cringe, y'all. But it is also, I was talking to some of y'all in our little chat group we have going. It's also shedding light on some of the things that happened, but it is, I was just sitting here like, oh, this makes so much more sense now. For both of them, right? Like the way Ryan acted towards her, the way she acted towards him, the whole 9 yards, okay? Then, this is also homework. Hey, John Baylor, how's it going? So, if you followed the Ruby and Jody case, whatever, Paige Hannah put out 3 videos, part 1, part 2, part 3, like the first, the second, the third, she calls them. I recorded my reaction and going over that, all 3 of those, like yesterday, so I'll be this week too. So if you're into that one, if you followed that case, I implore you to go watch the whole video. I made notes and did all that, so that's going to come out. Be on the lookout. And then it's supposed to be a fundraiser video for Gabby Petito. Some updates on like that letter that she wrote or whatever. It'll be the first one that I've ever done like that. So they got to kind of figure out how to do it behind the scenes with YouTube, because YouTube handles all that. But that'll come out this week too. So that being said, there's those 3 things. Now, on that note, this is completely not true crime related, but I've literally just watched this before we got on here, and I was cringing so hardcore. I was like, oh my God, it's a TikTok, and I'm going to try and show it to y'all. Now, here's the thing, because y'all already know I have this new fancy little microphone, so there's going to probably be an echo to it, because I don't know how to not make that happen, right? This is cringe 101, okay? This is cringe 101. Some of you might have seen it. If you're on TikTok, you probably saw this, right? Because it went viral. The search is gender reveal drama. So if you are familiar with gender reveals, it's where they sit here, somebody's going to have a baby, they do some kind of like over the top thing, and it's something that explodes, and it's purple or blue or whatever. Well, oftentimes these now become a place for people to show out, right? Like other family members, or like cringy stuff happens or whatever. This one right here, it's the mother. It says POV, the mother-in-law. And when I watched this, I wanted to crawl under the sofa, y'all. So let's do a test real quick just to see if you can hear it. And then let's see how we can do this. Okay, so let me come over here. Please hold. Okay, so that is... All right, okay, so there's that. Okay. And then let me go boom, 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 boom. Okay, so first of all, tell me, can you hear this?
Watched that. That was a hard watch, number one. Number two, this girl is funny. I can already tell.
Okay, did y'all hear that? Number one, if you did, I'll rewind it and we'll play it. So drop a 1 if you heard it. 1. Okay. Okay, so here we go.
It's rare to see a man who has a toxic mother break free of the bonds, but this father-to-be proves that just because his mom is toxic doesn't mean he's not worth it. Whoever this is who watched that. That was a hard watch, number one. Number two, this girl is funny. I can already tell because she turned around and said, let's analyze this. As soon as the popper said pink, she ran instant. She didn't give a breath for them to hug. She was trying to get to him before the baby mama could. And he didn't give his mom a glance. It's almost as if he knew if he was gonna get to his wife first, he had to run. As soon as it said pink, he said, yes. She ignored that cue of him turning his back to her, and she just kept going. And then he knew, I better run with my wife because my mom is gonna chase me. And she chased him in a circle before giving up. Does she have any other sons, or is that her only one? Although he's a good player, he's not tolerating that. That's still his mom. We're gonna need a life update after the baby's born, when the baby turns 1. When you go no contact, let us know. It's rare to see a man who has a toxic mother.
Okay, so, I was hollering and screaming, okay? I've watched it so many times where she's chasing them around the yard. I was like, and I get she's excited, like I get it. But, and again, he did right because if you've gone down the rabbit hole of like gender reveals that go down south with situations like this where somebody tries to make it all about themselves, whether the dude... I've seen the one where the dude runs to all of his boys, his friends, and leaves his wife over there just standing there like let me change this. She's over there like dum-da-dum. It's so cringy and like red flag. But then this where the mom's like just immediately trying. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, I cannot with this, right? I cannot. So... Woo, yeah, I'll show it one more time. Yeah, hold on. Oh, thank you, Dwayne. Just gifted a few memberships. We do appreciate it, Dwayne. Okay, I'll show it one more time. I'll just show the part where she chases them.
Break free of the bonds.
Okay, here we go.
It's rare to see a man who has a toxic mother break free of the bonds, but this father-to-be proves that just because his mom is toxic doesn't mean he's not worth it. Whoever this is who watched
I think she was gonna go take up the boy signs, or the sign that said boy or whatever. Yes, right, murder nerd. And honestly, it's what I thought. It's what I thought of, right? Oh my god, y'all, I was screaming and hollering over that. I've an unhealthy amount of times. I personally am taking responsibility for making it go viral. That's how many times I've watched it. Okay, I am here. I don't like it when I see like someone getting their feelings hurt, like the dude who ran to all his guy friends and left his wife sitting there pregnant, like just a vessel. Like, okay, well, I'm glad you're happy. You know what I mean? Like that. I hate it when somebody gets their feelings hurt. But when it's something like this, where everything's like the dude did the right thing. Okay, and like she said, he probably knew his mom was extra, so he went. He grabbed his wife. He didn't look at his mother. He gave his wife all the attention. This is between them. This is their moment. He kept running with her, and then the mom kept going. Oh my God! Right, this man understood the assignment. He shut that down, and yet the fact that, and then she ran over there and started doing the thing with the sign. I'm like, girl, give it up. And yeah, whoever the family member was, I'm assuming a family member, who was like laughing and turning around. I was like, you know, this is just one snippet, right? I was like, I cannot with this, y'all. I cannot. Okay. Oh, it's why I cannot delete the app. It's why I cannot delete the app, okay? So, woo. Okay, let me hold on now. We're going to use Ashley. I'm sorry, but I need to fan myself off, girl. So yeah, anyways. So there's that. We needed to get a good laugh on. And yes, for everybody joining them and whatnot, happy Father's Day to everybody. I hope it was a wonderful, wonderful Father's Day for you. Oh, Lord, that one got me, y'all. Okay, so here we go. So what we're gonna do first? I want to watch this video on Madeline Soto. Now, for those who are not familiar with this, Madeline Soto, she had just turned 13 when her life was taken from her by the monster Stefan Stearns. This is her mother's boyfriend. 800 some pages of new documents have come out. Now, we're not going to be going through those documents right now, right here. We're going to watch a video from Vinny from Court TV. We love Vinny. Not only is he cute, adorable, he's a great personality, he's just a really nice guy. I've seen him at CrimeCon. I've met him in passing at CrimeCon. Very good energy, just a really cool dude. And so I love following his cases that he covers. Whatever he covers, he could be talking about. So Vinny and Nate Eaton are like this for me. I'm like, if they're going to be talking about the weather, I'm like, I'm here for it. I just like their energy, right? Please hold. So he's going to go over a couple of dynamics about this that I was like, okay, yes, this is like what? Because these 800-page documents, when we're when we're finding out what took place with Madeline, it's obviously horrible. It's obviously tragic. And obviously, I have so many questions. I'm sorry about the mother. I'm not trying to sit here and be a certain way, whatever. But and not only that, but the whole situation is so bizarre to me. The whole dynamic, and you'll hear this in a second, of, I sent Stefan and Madeline to sleep in the room together. What? Why would you? What? Why? What? I mean, again, I'm like, it sounded like there was angst from the mother to Madeline. They had these roommates living there. Constant, oh, whoops. I thought I heard voices, but it was this. And again, I think it's a blend of things with the mother. I think a lot of it is like, just, I don't know. I'm not accusing her of anything, but it's cringy. So, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this up, and we're gonna watch this, and that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. There's not much more to it. So we're gonna watch it, but first, y'all know I don't know how to work this fancy stuff over here now. And this might not, I call it anything that I don't get or understand is fancy to me, okay? So it doesn't mean it's expensive. I'm not trying to sound fancy when I say that. It just means that I don't get it, so it's fancy to me, right? And, Chrissy, thank you so much. Hold on, I don't have my glasses. I have a picture of my ex because we're discussing this. I want to know. Oh, wow, hold on. Let me see. Hold on. Let me get back up. Please hold. Hold on. Okay, so Chrissy says, I had to thank you for this time and hang out tonight. I was really needing some laughs, and this is the best. Oh, I appreciate that, Chrissy. Also, you mentioned a picture of my ex because we're discussing this. I wanted to see it. Okay, I'll check it out here in a second. 100%. And thank you. Okay, let me get. Hold on. And I'm glad you're here. Ouch! I'm glad you're getting some laughs. Lord knows I've needed them recently too, and y'all have been here for it, and I appreciate it. And let me just read a couple of comments before I put it up here. Yeah, what mother sends her child to school with their boyfriend? That's my thing. On again, off again. Like, I don't get that. Okay, but here's the thing too. Remember, if you follow me for a while, then you know, or if you haven't followed me but you saw this, abducted in plain sight. If you follow that case, it's giving that energy. Because when you watch that, you're just like, you let the neighbor do what? How many times? Huh? Where you're just really questioning the logic behind the thought process. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what the mother's decision making in this is giving to me, at least. Murder Nerd just said it too. So Murder Nerd said, hold on, let me go. Well, she does bear some responsibility, but also I think she seems a lot that the parents 100%. 100%, right? It's like, because there's just some, here's the thing, there's just some people that are just checked out. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to make that as an excuse of like, oh, so they get, no. They're just checked out. It's like they're not thinking in the same term. I'll think, Sandy, that we are, right? It's just like, so like where most of us are just like, you let your boyfriend sent your daughter in the room with him? And you weren't, what? No. I'm good on that. No. Okay, call me judgmental. Call me judgmental. You can call whatever, but I'm sorry. Okay, so please hold. No, okay, also, but let me say this. So here's the thing. So when I put this up here, I'm gonna be like, hey, can y'all hear it? Let me know if there's like a what do you call it? Like a feedback or whatever. Right? Wampa says, if you're that checked out, you should not be ready to chat. Amen, girl. Right? Wait, one of his friends were interviewed on GHI, and he said Jen was taking a lot of meds too. Interesting. I feel like Jen, and they might say this in this video, is either working with the police or something. Yeah, hold on, Indie Girl, hold on, let me put it up here because it's going to go away. I probably didn't bother to bat. It's just, yeah, this is the roommate thing. That was another new thing to me. I'm like, oh, there's other people living in the house? I have even more questions. Not that I'm shaming that part, but like just the whole entire thing. Okay, so let me go find the video. I'm going to put it up, and I'm going to, this is how I think I do this. I think I mute my end and then play it, and that way there's not feedback. So I'll type in the room and be like, hey, can y'all hear this? And so, happy Zaddy's Day. Yes, happy Zaddy's Day. Vinny would be, I think Vinny is a Zaddy, right? Okay, so hold on, let me put this up here. I know, and I left my cringe coffee cup. It's in the dishwasher right now. Because God knows we're going to need it for, maybe it'll be done. We need it for Cerebone. Okay, hold on one second. Share screen. I said, hey now. Okay. I said, don't dream it. Okay, here he goes. I said his name is Vin. I said he's here to say. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play it without silencing my mic and see what it works, and then I'll silence it. So here we go. Oh, wait, first of all, do y'all hear that? I don't hear it.
Thank you so much for joining us here on Closing Arguments. This is a big.
Do y'all even hear it at all? Drop a number one, because I don't hear it on my end.
Information that's been revealed in the investigation into the sexual abuse and murder.
It might take a minute for there to be playback, so y'all are hearing it and you hear me. So see if there's playback on it. If there starts to be playback, just write playback, because I think that's what it's going to do in a second once it has time to catch
her
up.
mom wasn't there. You know who else wasn't there? The man who's been accused of her murder, Stephen Stearns.
Okay.
He's also been accused of sexually abusing her, and We know this now because we were able to put together a better timeline of where Madeline was and what was happening after
I'm
that
just reading the
birthday
captions.
party and before she was reported missing the following day. So let's get to it, and it's from really 3 different sources. The first source is the story from Stephen Stearns himself. Again, take it with a grain of salt, but this is what he's saying. He told investigators on February 25th, 2024, at approximately 20:45 hours, Stephen arrived at Jen and Madeline's residence. Okay, so this is on Sunday. When he arrived, Jen was still at work.
Now I'm going to pause it along the way just to say some things. Okay, so first of all, this dynamic here where it's like he had just gotten there, and I think Vinny will bring this up, but this is like, because there's obviously all these theories. So be thinking this while we watch it if you haven't been watching this or whatever. Number one, did he come up specifically for this? Do we think he came up specifically to do what he did to Madeline? You know what I'm saying? Because I almost feel like he did that. Go to Gray Hughes Investigates. He has long interviews with people who knew Stephen way back. Oh, interesting. He's been a creep all his life. It does not surprise me. But you see what I'm saying? Like, do we think that he came up specifically to take Madeline's life away? I kind of think he did because I think something happened. I think something took place, and he'll talk about this in a minute, but here we go. So let's keep going. I just wanted to say that.
And he directed Madeline to get ready for bed. So he's home with Madeline. Mom's not there.
And again, I'm sorry to pause it, but he's going over this right here. This second line, or this third line down here. She informed, they're talking about, once blank arrived, she informed Stefan and blank, you can fill in the dots here, she would like to sleep in and directed them to sleep upstairs in the guest room. I mean, this is the part that I'm like, what? Not even upstairs. Can you imagine this poor girl, 13 years old? Okay, let's keep going, sorry. Okay, hold on, let me get to, here we go.
There. Once Jen arrived, she informed Stefan and Madeline she would like to sleep in and directed them, meaning Stefan and Madeline, to sleep upstairs in the guest room. The following morning, Stefan and Madeline woke up at approximately 7 to 7:15 to get an early start so they could purchase food from McDonald's before school. Madeline and he left the residence between 7:30 and 7:45. Okay, so that's Stefan's story. Now we also
so you see now so you saw the timeline for what Steven says
and told investigators. Jen advised that her sister had dropped Madeline off at her house at approximately 30 hours. That's 8:30, and she believes Stefan had arrived shortly after that time. Stefan informed Jen that Madeline had taken her nighttime medication and was getting ready for bed, which consisted of taking a shower. Jen arrived at the house from work at approximately 30 hours and sent Madeline and Stefan to bed at approximately 2300 hours.
So she gets home and sends them upstairs.
Madeline, mom, is sending Madeline and Stefan to bed together. I asked Jen what time he had woken up on February 26th, to which he stated she believed sometime between 8 and 8:15 because Stefan had gone into the room to put the leash on the dog around 8:15. I asked Jen if she visually observed Madeline on the morning of February 26, 2024.
Okay, hold on. Now let's go over here. Hold on. Please hold. I just want to read through this real quick. Oh, wait. Well, hold on. Okay, so they're going to get the breakfast, was very sleepy. She wanted to sleep, not get McDonald's, and just wanted to get dropped off. He also wanted to let her know he left his phone at home by accident and had gone to the vape shop, but they had not opened on time. Stefan waited for a while in front of the vape shop, and after they did not open, he went back home. After hanging out with Blank for a while, Stefan left again to go to the vape shop to get what he needed. Blank then asked if I wanted the name of the vape shop because she believed it might be helpful. Now I can't see. Let's keep going.
No. This contradicts what we've heard before.
Contradicts the time we've heard before. No, I asked if she had heard her, and she stated
she heard people
she heard
in the
kitchen,
kitchen,
but was not sure if it was specifically Jen. Now this is where the roommate thing comes into play. If it was her, Jen then stated the last time she had physically seen Madeline was on.
Physically seen Madeline was on February 25th.
11 o'clock when she gets out of bed. Okay, so here's the thing with this. I'm sorry to keep pausing, but I just want to kind of break this down or whatever. So remember in the interviews, and it might come up in this video too, but where Jen's talking about we dropped her off, and that very first, the new video footage that came out where he says we at one point, I think they both go back and forth. She says he, and then the other one says we. There's this back and forth thing, but so then at the end of the day where it's like, okay, look, the last time I actually saw her was 11 o'clock at night when I came in. To me, there's so much of a muddled story, you know, Madeline was last seen on my birthday. Oh, that's so sad. Yeah, I can't even imagine what that poor girl went through. I know. I'm glad Benny's pissed off. Says, I know, right? Right, the blame of what happened is directed at Stefan. Yeah. I believe Jim was lazy and he was like, yeah, I mean, he's always lurking, so I think he's just always imposed. I'm just reading through. Yeah, he was gaslighting Jen. Yeah. Okay, let's keep going.
When she had sent her to bed.
She had sent her to bed the next day. Jen got out of bed at approximately 9 o'clock and left the residence around 9:30.
Now, we have the information from the detective based upon
videos and
information.
Okay, let's see. And the pardon me. In the surveillance footage, I observed a male wearing a red shirt leaving the complex in a 2010 silver Lincoln MKZ through the rear gate at 0750 hours with a female wearing a green sweater in the front seat. This person appeared to be sitting upright with her head slumped over to the left side. At 0819 hours, I observed a male wearing a red shirt enter the complex through the front gate near North Hoagland Boulevard in the silver Lincoln with someone in the front passenger seat wearing a green sweater and once again slumped over. At 0831 hours, the male wearing a red shirt left the complex in the silver Lincoln through the rear gate with the female in the front passenger seat completely slumped over to the left. Here's my one question moving forth, and we can hear you over Benny dear. Wait, you mean you can't hear me? Can y'all hear me right now? Here's my thing. When do we think he killed Madeline? If they're saying that she's leaving the house, Jen's saying that she basically didn't get out till 9 o'clock in the morning or whatever. So she sends him up to bed at 11 o'clock. She doesn't leave till 9. He gets up early, takes her to school. Apparently that's not normal. When do we think when do we think he killed her? Okay, I think so. AC says, came home. I do wonder if he possibly drove while she was in the car. He was on camera playing it. But yes, and we might get to that where he takes the body out of the car and puts her in the trunk. Thinks he did it early in the morning. I'm thinking, did he overdose her during the night? Maddie was, unalived between midnight and 6 a.m. Okay, so closer to 7 a.m. So when he leaves to take her to school, she's dead. Right? She's dead. Like, all these times they're saying, it's not she's drugged, she's dead. He killed her well before 7:30 because that's when the video caught him throwing out her things. Okay, that's right. Before they left the first time. Okay. Her body was limp when he put her in the trunk. Yeah. Okay, so let's keep going. So again, this is just what haunts me. Well, we'll get to it. Hold on. I keep saying it 100 times over, but that's just me.
Okay, that they gathered. In the surveillance footage, I observed a male wearing a red shirt leaving the complex in a 2010 silver Lincoln MKZ. That's the car that Stearns has been driving through. Through the rear gate at 7:50 with a female wearing a green sweater in the front seat. This person appears to be sitting upright with her head slumped over to her left side. At 8:19, I observed a male wearing a red shirt enter the complex. At 8:31, the male wearing a red shirt left the complex in the silver Lincoln through the rear gate with a female in the front passenger completely slumped over to the left. So let's break this down. Let me bring in my special guest, true crime live streamer, He's on YouTube, Gray Hughes of Gray Hughes Investigates, and today he just released a brand new episode diving into all of these new documents. Make sure you check it out again on YouTube, Gray Hughes Investigates. Gray, great to see you tonight. I have a timeline here based upon some of this information that I just outlined. I want to go through it with you. 8:30 p.m., Madeline is dropped off at home.
Here's his timeline.
8:45, Stefan arrives at the home. 10:30, Jen arrives at the home. In this little time period right here, this was what was very unclear to me before we got these documents. What are your thoughts about the beginnings of this timeline?
Yeah, I mean, I think originally we all thought that maybe Stefan went to the birthday party. But now it sounds like he just shows up there at 10:45 at the house, and then I guess Jennifer shows up, but he's already directed Madeline to get ready for bed, and then, as you were saying earlier,
So Wampo says, I think Madeline might have threatened to tell her something that
Stefan
could
were
have
sent
blown up.
upstairs to go to sleep in room number 4. I guess they have numbers on the door. And then what's incredible is just only like 49 minutes after they were going to go, when they were sent to bed, that's when Stefan Stearns is on Telegram. And we did a show on that a while back.
Let me put this up on the screen, because 11 o'clock, they go to bed, and you said 49 minutes later, Stefan logs on to Telegram. Tell us about Telegram. What is this app? Who's on this app, and what potentially could be going on this app?
Well, the app's used by a whole bunch of different people. You can upload videos and things like, just for anything. Like, for example, the war in Gaza, they uploaded the videos there. In Israel there, but just people upload. You can upload videos, but the thing is it's also encrypted, so people can upload things secretly. And apparently, this is the new up-and-coming site where a lot of the pedophiles and deviant, sexual individuals out there are uploading videos and sharing. And that makes it, I'm a little concerned about that. What was he doing at 11:49 on Telegram?
Hey, West Coast.
And we know that Madeline died sometime after 11 o'clock. And when she left in the morning when they left in the morning at I think 7:50, his car is seen leaving the complex. And she's already, looks like she's already dead actually in the vehicle with her body slumped over. So it was way before that, likely.
It's also, and what we've also learned, right, is that in some of these alleged sex abuse, Madeline appears to be asleep, right? She's given her nighttime medicine. Yeah. There's a history of her being abused while she's asleep, and now 49 minutes after being...
So I'm going to pause it real quick. So often we hear about these kind of things. Well, even in Abducted with Plain Sight, where he was given, Jan, I believe was the victim's name in that, he was giving her sleeping stuff. This is kind of a pattern. But there was that dude recently who was given his daughter was having sleepovers, and he was giving them those milkshakes or smoothies or whatever with that. It's just like... blows my mind. Hey Maggie, how's it going? Okay, let me go back to the thing here. I just wanted to interject that. There we go. Okay, here we go.
Sent to bed by her mom with Stefan. Now all of a sudden he's logging on to this. Does Telegram have live applications as well? Do we know?
I don't know if it has live, but this is that site that we were talking about where people, they upload, and then it's the place where they would coerce girls to upload videos, and then after they uploaded the videos, they would use it as blackmail against them to do more and more and more things. And I actually had maybe a theory, possibly, that Stefan Stearns became... This is just a random theory, okay? But maybe he's a victim of the same sort of... I don't want to call him a victim, he's a monster, but he also was coerced by blackmail because they figured out who he was, and therefore he created this video that they had him do, or the information was going to come out. But it's probably likely more something that Madeline, she just turned 13, who knows what she started saying to Stefan Stearns, and maybe at that point he decided he can't allow her to come forward with information about what he's been doing to her over the years, because now she realizes it was bad.
Yeah. And I'm learning in my ear, we have great producers, that there is an ability to live stream on this Telegram, which that's scary.
Oh, great.
Now, the following morning, let's go through the following morning. 7 to 7:15, Stearns claims he and Madeline wake up. 7:30 to 7:45, he claims they leave the house. 7:50 is when he's spotted driving away with Madeline slumped in the car, again, by these cameras that are near the exits of the complex. 8 to 8:15, Jen claims she's woken up by Stearns with this dog leash and hears people in the kitchen. Well, at 8:19, he re-enters the complex with Madeline slumped over. So that could be slightly accurate, that by 8:19, 8:20, he's back, and maybe that's when Stearns comes in for the dog leash. 8:31, he leaves the complex with Madeline still slumped over, and then Jen finally gets out of bed. So looking at these times.
Again, I just want to, here's my thing. So does he just leave her? I mean, I guess I'm answering my own question. He comes back, Madeline is in the slumped over, she's dead. He just comes in and leaves her in the car dead? I mean, is this right? Was there no, because another, and I don't know if it was, I haven't seen this video actually. I watched another Vinny thing or listened to it on the way or whatever. But I mean, they all have excellent information in it, right? But the reason I'm saying this is because I don't know if they're going to cover this part that I'm about to say. Yeah, but Vinny was talking about, whoever it was, a judge or whoever he interviewed in this other video, talking about the burial site of where Madeline was found, and basically talking about, like, it's ballsy as hell for this dude where he left Madeline in broad daylight, basically. And so this is my thing, too, with this, where I'm like, did he just leave her poor little body in the car and run inside for a few minutes? Just like, okay. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's the part that I'm just like, he was so brazen. But if he's been doing this for a long time, because Vinny brought up this point as well, so this is not my original thought that I'm about to say. This is something Vinny said in his other video, or this one, I don't know when, but I'll say it because I'm thinking about it, where he was talking about Steven and basically the patterns of pictures and this kind of stuff of the abuse that was going on. And he was like, because this was an on-again, off-again situation with Jen and what's his name, Stefan, that did these times collide all the time in the past with when he would come up when they were on again and he was there? Like, is there a correlation there? I mean, obviously there would be to some degree, but like, how much of a correlation is there? You know, like when he comes back around and that type of thing, because I think they were dating this back to when she was like 8 years old or something, right? I mean, this is a long time. She's 13 now. You know, she just turned 13. So, I mean, and again, so many people are saying, and I think this is what he's alluding to in the talking to the thing of, please hold. Something clearly took place. Now, if he's in here live streaming her or taking pictures or putting them up here and whatever on this app, and if she found that out or if somebody saw or whatever, then there's the whole pregnancy thing about her. I believe it's a friend that said that Madeline mentioned about being late on her, or something with her period. So, I mean, there was a lot going on. Clearly something triggered this man to be like, this has got to end. And in his world, it was a better choice to end her life than to whatever, get caught, whatever. I don't know. So here's my other thing too. I don't know what the man was thinking. And we say this with all the cases we cover, right? And he probably wasn't thinking, how in God's name did he think he was going to get away with this? Vinny was talking in the other video, or maybe it'll be this one, about how many video cameras just alone in the apartment complex there are. He's all up on the video doing, I mean, again, you see all this evidence. That's where I think it was that extreme in his mind. You know what I mean? Of like, I have to get rid of her. This is bad. Like, I'm gonna better for this than for her to talk or whatever it was. Okay, let's keep going. I just had to say that. Please help.
When do you believe that this murder could have taken place either at night or potentially early that morning?
Yeah, I think it's going to be sometime after 11 to like 4 or 5 in the morning, in my opinion. But he comes back at 8:19 with her body visible, and then what's interesting, at 8:31 he leaves again. So what was he do? What happened in those 12 minutes? He goes inside the house, and then obviously Madeline's body is still sitting in the car. Is it still propped up? Does he like bend her over and put a blanket on so he can go in the house for a minute, and then he goes back in? And then at 8:31, the car leaves. And I don't know if you want to go over this part yet, but at 9:40, he makes it to a hotel.
Oh, we're going to get there. We're going to get there.
Yeah.
I want to focus on this right now. All right, Gray Hughes is going to stay with us. Stand by. I want to bring in our think tank who's joining us live in studio tonight. And with us, criminal defense attorney, entertainment attorney, and former assistant DA in Atlanta, Daryl Cohen, is with us. Also joining us tonight, criminal defense attorney, Emory University law professor Molly Palmer. And look at this. He flew in from Florida, the Sunshine State, to be with us. The state attorney for Palm Beach County, Dave Arenberg. Great to see everyone. All right. This is a strong case against Stephen Stearns. No doubt. No doubt. I'm going to go to the prosecutor from Florida first.
I'm an ex-prosecutor before he was in Florida.
That's right. But strong.
Sure.
This seems strong, this timeline, strong. Do you have an idea when you think this murder could have taken place?
No, it's either going to be late at night or early in the morning, and then the video is important that you have her slumped over. So she was dead before she ever got to school, where he said he dropped her off several blocks away from school. By that point, she was already dead. So they've got good surveillance on him. They've got a guy with all the sexual abuse on his phone, so you can see why he would have done this, the motive. So I think it's a very, very powerful case. It's headed towards a death penalty because you can, in Florida now, not only get the death penalty for the murder, but for the underlying sexual abuse against a child.
Yeah. Down.
Okay, the video that I looked at earlier, they were talking about this whole dynamic with the death penalty in Florida now, and how it no longer has to be like unanimous and whatnot, and how yes, the essay charges that they were doing, they're bringing against him for what he did, are death penalty charges, but they're going to basically treat it like two things. They get a conviction on that. That's going to be an aggravating thing or whatever for the murder charges are going to be coming up. And again, you heard him talking about the just right here. I mean, again, it's like, what? Obviously, we see the motive, specifically what, but it's all stemming to what he was doing to her. Somebody mentioned earlier, like, do we have a thing going for how long he'll last? I mean, y'all, this guy, he's not going to last long, y'all. He's not going to last long at all. And I'm talking about, like, when he gets to prison. Okay, here we go.
Now, everything that we suspected is now coming to fruition. But the thing that really surprised me here was the timeline of him coming home and with her, just him and her, before mom even gets home.
Well, let me say this. There ain't no sunshine here in this Florida, because right now Dave came from the non-sunshine state to get some hot weather from Atlanta. Having said that, he backed up. He went through the back gate. He probably was not aware, because he is so smart, that there was video, that there's surveillance, and he came back in, and then he went back out the back gate. All of this says one thing to me. Not a good guy. Says, I agree with Dave, I agree with everybody. He was probably the murderer either after 11 at night or in the morning. But either way, she was obviously propped up. And what happened when he went inside, well, don't know, but it doesn't matter. She was already dead.
Molly, I'm looking at this timeline. It doesn't work with his timeline. The video.
I think there's a lot that we have in terms of evidence against Stephen Stearns, but beyond that, we also hear him speaking to law enforcement, as soon as they arrive in the home, and everything he says is entirely inconsistent with the evidence that we now have. And so when you have a case like this, if you're a defense lawyer, you don't plead somebody out to the death penalty. This will be a trial. I think procedurally it will be interesting because we're likely going to see the sex abuse charges go first and then used as an aggravating factor for the death penalty trial of the murder.
So this is what I was talking about, but she's saying the legal terms for it and whatnot, about how they're going to go about it and whatnot. Very interesting. Where are we at? Okay, here we go.
But yes, overwhelming evidence and his own words.
His own words.
His own words are going to sink him.
Everyone's staying with us. When we come back, the other part of this story everyone's talking about is Madeline's mom,
Here we
Jen
go,
Soto.
yes.
And based upon what we're learning now, should she be worried or is she a victim?
That.
Wade Wilson is accused of killing.
Is anybody watching that?
2019.
Is anybody watching the Wade Wilson thing? Here we go.
So there's Madeline Soto with her mom, Jen. She was a single mom. Dad was in another state, so she's basically raising her, but Stephen Stearns was in the picture. But now, Stephen Stearns, we know the charges against him. He's facing the death penalty. The evidence is strong, but everyone's wondering about mom, Jen Soto. Is there any criminal liability for what she did and for what she didn't do? Here's what we're learning, some more information. Jen was using the past tense while speaking.
Oh, this is interesting.
While speaking, I noted that Jen referred to Madeline, this is when she's only missing, using the past tense several times when she mentioned her. I inquired about whether or not it was normal to allow Madeline and Stephen to sleep in the same room unsupervised. Jen replied, this was not common practice. However, she did not have any suspicion that anything inappropriate would occur between the two. Jen used to be very hypervigilant around Stephen. However, as the years have gone by, she's allowed Madeline and him to be alone because they get along very well. Let's bring back in our think tank, Daryl Cohen, Molly Palmer, Dave Arenberg.
Yeah, I want to see what the damn think tank has to say about this part right here. Now, this is new. So this point that he just made about talking about her using past tense, that was very interesting. I have not caught that, nor have I heard that yet. That's very interesting. Okay, here we go.
It's bad, right? We know it's bad. She is like handing her daughter over to this alleged pedophile. Dave Arenberg in Florida is doing that in and of itself. Sending your daughter to bed with your boyfriend. Is that enough? And sometimes it's not even her boyfriend anymore. They're like broken up, but he comes over just to sleep with her.
Child neglect that creates great bodily harm. In this case, death could be prosecuted as a felony. So you can file charges, but I think that the prosecutors want more. Otherwise, they would already have done so here. I mean, look, the world hates this mother. She's awful in her actions, but whether it's criminal, I think the prosecutors obviously want her to flip against the boyfriend. But I think that if they had enough evidence to charge her today, they would have done so. So perhaps they're just investigating more. They're just not there yet.
Do you need her to testify to set up that timeline, Daryl?
I was going to say, I love my fellow prosecutor. He's the boss. I was the boss. No, you don't need him. And I think they're waiting to see whether or not some more evidence develops, because mom obviously can be charged. And in my opinion, she can be convicted. How can you be there, not hear, not see, not be aware? And oh, by the way, because she gets along so well with my boyfriend, former boyfriend, I think they should sleep together because it's just good practice. This is horrendous. That mom needs to be prosecuted.
Brother.
Even if the state attorney, the prosecutor, cannot get a conviction, there's something called prosecutor's time. Sometimes you don't have to get mad, you can get even.
You know, I think it's really interesting when we think about the level of what's negligent, right? I mean, a 13-year-old, I don't know any mother who's going to allow her 13-year-old daughter to sleep in a room with a boyfriend or non-boyfriend or whatever. But separate from the negligence, I am really fascinated by this reference to the past tense,
yeah,
right? What does she know the morning of the murder? What does she know? And Florida law, my prosecutor friend to my right, I'm sure can correct me if I'm wrong about this, you have this accessory after the fact law that's pretty interesting. If you're married, sometimes it can't apply. In a case of a murder, it always can apply. These two weren't married. But if she knew about this murder, even if she wasn't complicit in it necessarily, she can be charged, and she will be going down right alongside Stephen Stearns.
Something else I want to put up here, because this is also significant in understanding the relationship between Madeline and Jen. Now, Madeline told her friend that she didn't get along with her mom. They're interviewing Madeline's friends and classmates. Madeline's friend had heard from another friend, so double hearsay, I get it. Madeline's mom told her she was going to kick her out of the house and disown her when she turned 18 or 19.
Okay, so hold on one second. So I just want to read this. While speaking, I noted that blank referred to blank using the past tense several times when she mentioned her. I inquired about whether it was normal to allow blank and Stefan to sleep in the same room unsupervised. Blank replied this was not common practice, however, she did not have any suspicion. We just went over this. Okay, yes. So, parents in Northport, Florida. Stefan said he split his time to his family with the daily care to right at home. I mean, I'm just kind of I'm still blown away right here, y'all. You watched the thing. Okay, I'm just catching up on your comments real quick. Wait, hold on. He tells her girlfriend he would still see her at Madeline's house and sleep with her. The mom knew something was going on. Oh, wait, hold on. I have a daughter. No way. And they give her a plea deal because my daughter. You see, I think that they're used like they said, there's a potential for something pops off, whatever. They charge her whatnot, but it's still out there. You know what I'm saying? Like they could still whatever, because again, them even mentioning here of her using past tense, this, that, and the other. I mean, that's again, these are the little nuggets right here that I'm like, wow. I did not catch that in the beginning. Again, I'm gonna go back and we're gonna keep pushing forward.
It's always tough in a house, a mom and teenage daughters, right? 9 times out of 10, it is in that situation. How important is that? Is this psychologically, where do you think mom is on all of this? Do you think it's possible that she's using her daughter to keep a man in her life?
Oh my God, I didn't even think.
And if so,
I didn't even think about that part. Do you think it's possible she's using her daughter to keep a man in her life? I mean, oh my God, you would pray not. And this whole thing about the friend saying she wanted to kick her. I mean, there's something very.
That's illegal, right? Because then you're almost like you're trafficking your daughter to keep a man in your life. It's a tough case to prove, though.
There are a lot of layers here, Vinny, and there are a lot of layers, so it's tough to know what she's thinking. There's that video of her standing in front of Stefan at the insurance tax office where she's talking about her missing daughter, and he's behind her to the side. It looks like a hostage video. He's there. Yeah, he's almost standing guard, and that's why, there's part of me that thinks that she's just a clueless woman who has been under the thumb of this awful monster. And so that's where I am as a prosecutor, that I just don't think they have enough yet to file charges against her.
And see, I think this is a total dynamic going on with her, what he just said too. I think there's, like they said, there's so many layers to this. And I think this is one of those layers. She seems to be very clueless, and there's all the videos we've seen before he got locked up. He's like guarding her. He's like standing over. You know what I'm saying? It's just Again, if you have not seen Abducted in Plain Sight, I urge you to go watch that. And I'm not saying that that's the only thing going on here, but it's so similar. Okay, let's keep going.
Important is the mental state of of this mom, right? Like how she reacted to all this. If she has a mental breakdown or something, is that going to impact, or should it impact, what is done with her?
First of all, she hasn't yet had that mental breakdown, and she may never have that.
She may have, I don't know.
But to the best of our knowledge and belief, playing lawyer for a second, but the fact that she was so much a part of what went on, I don't think it should have any impact. I think a jury would be itching, begging for her to go to trial so they can listen or not listen to the evidence, but convict her regardless.
All right, stay where you are. We've got much more new information connected to the death of Madeline Soto.
Okay, hold on. Oh, that's okay. So here's the thing: what he just said, talking about the jury will be begging for her to go to the thing to hear all the evidence. I mean, it would be horrible evidence. Okay, let's not even pretend that it wouldn't be. There's so many unanswered questions in that, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, Leslie, I completely agree. Not convicted based on opinions, but facts matter. Yeah, 100%. That would be one reason why I must be like, okay, what is that? Like, what are the facts in the case, right? What's the evidence? I'm just catching up in your comments real quick. Stephanie, yes, they found her body. Yeah, people totally right. Yeah. Yeah, and the tattoo thing was weird. I think that was partly nervous, partly... One thing that goes on definitely with her is she takes, and when I say takes cues from him, not in like a... Like, he has something over Jen. I'm not saying information, but like a control, a power, a something. Whether she's enamored, because when they said the whole thing is she using the daughter to keep him around or whatever, I mean, who knows, right? But it's almost like that, because when you see, and again, I'm going to revert to it 100 times, when... Wait, hold on. In that interview, someone's there, but didn't go quiet the bird. Wait, I don't get that. I don't get that, murder nerd. And yeah, Jen is totally socially awkward. That's definitely going on. Wait, hold on. When they realized it was wrong, made it. Yeah, see, that's the thing. I feel you. When that comes up, I definitely think that was part of what was going on with Madeline. There's probably several things. Hold on. Then we have a case, but she's going to have a strong about a mother's injury. No way, no. Yeah. And like the one lawyer said, it's like most likely they don't have. I think that they're looking at it like, and I don't even want to say that she's a victim, but almost like we're going to use her to testify. We're going to use all that. Oh yes, murder nerd. I know what you're talking about. Yes. And she was kind of like laughing about it or whatever, and it was weird. And that one, remember, she stopped halfway through and was like, I don't know what I can talk about. And to me, it felt coached. And I definitely think at some point this went on between her and what's his name. Stefan probably told her, look, they're going to think that I did something, so you have to say this. And again, if she's completely clueless, okay. You know, because at a certain point when she was missing, Jim probably was thinking, you know what I'm saying? Okay, there's that going on. I think that we saw some of that playing out, and now obviously all this has come out, and it's like, you know, the evidence speaks for itself. Because there was too many things in the beginning where she was changing her language up, and I think that he had part of that. I think that he was part of that, of not, you know, maybe telling her what to say, but part of, you have to say this. We dropped her off. We did this. Because none of it matched up. I mean, just like the one lawyer said, the dude's stupid, right? Not the lawyer, but this dude, Stefan. Going in the back or whatever, it's just like, dude, yeah, hello, they have video cameras back there too. Waiting to find out about the Walmart evidence in this. Just waiting for that. This has Walmart written all over it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, pretty much every damn case we follow, somebody goes to Walmart and blatantly commits part of the crime or buys evidence there. And it's so obvious, and if you've been to a Walmart, you know there's a camera every 5 seconds of the damn thing, right? This guy has Walmart criminal person written all over him. Because like the things that he was lying about, I accidentally factory reset my phone yesterday. What? But again, he's panicking, he's scared, he doesn't want to get caught, he's doing stupid things. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to say he's smart outside that, but these are things that you kill somebody. Obviously, you want to factory reset your phone because we know what was on his phone. You know what I'm saying? Like, and God knows what else. Of course, he's going to factory reset it, but he's not thinking they can find that, right? It's like, dude, why would you even put that on your phone? Why would you do it in the first place, right? But second, like, you put this on your phone, you know. Exactly. Texas goes to Walmart and uses a credit card. I mean, this is what we're talking about. You know, I just always get back to that case where those dudes were hired hitmen and they drove and bought souvenirs at Walmart. And I'm just, you know, so many of these cases, they buy the murder kits at Walmart. Oh my God, Leslie. No. Oh wait, I did. Creepy as hell. In the Google search, I mean, I can't. I cannot, right? And so hearing this, it's like, and then again, the whole thing of like, you know, if you listen to her, I was very vigilant at first, but, you know, I got comfortable. They got along, so I sent them up there. I mean, that logic doesn't really... First of all, here's a red flag with that. Any normal boyfriend would never go along with that. That would be so... Like, what man would even agree to that other than one that's probably... And I'm not trying to sit here and say if it was like her father or something like that. I'm talking about a situation like this of the mom's on again, off again boyfriend is okay going to sleep in the bedroom with her daughter. What? No. Like, that's the fact that he was willing to do that is a red flag. 100%. No dude would ever be okay with that. Unless he was probably playing, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like for this very reason. Exactly, Lorraine. It's like, you know, normal man would leave immediately. I mean, 100%. I mean, the whole thing, it's just, no. Wait, hold on, upstate. I'm just reading your things. You know him, he's got quite the history. That's what I'm saying. She clearly had a broken red flag detector. She 100% did. When do you think that it's... Okay, so Brandon brings up a good question. When do we think that Stephen coached the mom? To me, it could be in any... Because this is one thing that I think... Hold on, let me stand up here. I'm trying to figure out this. So, side note, I'm trying to figure out this desk setup because this is a stand-to-sit desk and I have a treadmill underneath me. So, you're basically looking up at me and I need to fix it to change because it's very awkward. It's like, hey, I'm up here. I think over time... This is probably the relationship with her, and it could not be specifically to Jen about Madeline along the way, but it could be little things. I mean, just think of like anything like, oh no, don't tell him that when you go to work. It's going to make you look, but say this. Just almost like kind of being in control and telling her what to do, and she probably went along with it. And then it was like, hey, Agent KK, it's good to see you. And yes, we have 100%. You nail on the head, girl. Okay, nail on the head. Abducted in plain sight. So funny how many people are picking up on that. I think it was like along the way there was things like this, so that when this came up, it was just like par for the course. It was like, you know, he was talking like, you've got to tell her that we did it. I'm the man. I can almost hear it now. I'm the guy. They're gonna think I did something because I was the last one with her. You've got to say that you saw her. You know what they're gonna do. You know how this goes. We watched Lifetime together. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that that's probably how the conversation went. And her being like, okay, you know. And again, we're learning that kind of there's maybe some tumultuous between her and her daughter and this, that, and the other, and blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? So I just think by the time this happened, it was like, okay. Now, it would be a different story at this point when... hopefully she's not denying the evidence. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's pretty obvious what happened. And yeah, Calm Kitty says, in my opinion, her defense will be a victim of violence. 100%. 100%. That's basically what she's going to have. I mean, she's going to basically, I was abused, basically. I was under his control. And probably to a certain degree, she's not, when I say she's not lying, 100% she probably was. I mean, she's sitting here willing to say, yeah, we did this. Well, I saw, but also remember, okay, so this is another thing too. And this is the part where I just think that she's like, I don't know if gullible is the word or if like naive or clueless or whatever you want to call it. But remember when she was talking about, we saw the video of Madeline walking. Like, we saw her. And then it came out that it was like, no, like, so-and-so said that they saw it, but they never did because we know for a fact that never happened. That wasn't Madeline on the surveillance video. But Jen said it in the beginning like it was just fact. Like, it was like, boom, I saw it. And then it came out that it was like, no, like, so-and-so said that they saw it, but they never did because we know for a fact that never happened. That wasn't Madeline on the surveillance video. But Jen said it in the beginning like it was just fact. Like, it was like, boom, I saw it. No, you didn't. Somebody told you that and they didn't see it. You know what I'm saying? Murder nurse says a couple sandwiches shy of a picnic. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, seriously, girl. Obviously, it says she lied. She knew everything. And that's the other possibility, that she knew exactly what went on. And she just straight up lied. Melaine says something that she's straight like, yeah. That's where, again, I hopefully they keep releasing more information. And it's just going to be interesting to see what happens with her. And hold on. You're the whole drop off near school. Oh, 100%. 100%. Oh, hey, Carly. I'm glad you're here. And hey, Jack. Glad you're here, too. Oh, thank you, Dwayne. Dwayne just gifted a lucky person a membership. Coerced control of a not smart lady who believes her man over anything else. Yeah, I mean, there's so many layers going on here. And what's, again, sad is, so obviously the outcome is tragic, right? We see what happened. What was, okay, if this is what we're dealing with now and this is the outcome, what was Madeline's life like? Pardon me. We see what was going on, the evidence from the phone, but like the little nuances. So that's the most horrible thing, right? The abuse, the murder. Then just think about just day-to-day life. If this is your scenario of the boyfriend's allowed to do this kind of stuff. And again, she's young at one point. She probably had that, obviously, that inner sense of this isn't right. But you're also, you're a little kid. You don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's up to the adults to adult, you know what I mean? And clearly they weren't in this situation. Hold on, let me scroll back up here. Please hold. Okay. Hey, Mimi. Mimi says, hey, Paul, I'm not happy that I started reading that Holler book. And I'll be spending 3 days on the highway. Let me tell you what. It's good so far. It's definitely a mood, right? It's a vibe, a mood, and it's the things that, y'all, it's dark. The things that the couple of people they've mentioned so far and have done. I'm completely switching gears there. Okay, so. Yeah, Teresa says grown men shouldn't sleep with their kids. I mean, this is what blows my mind. And like going back to Abducted in Plain Sight, where, I mean, that whole thing where they're letting the neighbor come over and as part of the therapy, he needs to sleep with their daughter in the bed. I mean, what? You know, literally, this is like along the same thing. Hold on. Maybe I should get my, look at me, I'm like, hold on one second. Let me get my glasses. Okay. Yeah, so now what we're going to do, we're going to switch gears and we're going to move over to Sarah Boone. Oh, thank you, Lauren. Gifted 5 people memberships. Let's switch gears because I got to get up early in the morning. And so I want to go ahead and what I want to do is just switch gears to a different case and end on a, when I say lighter note, obviously, but all the cases are tragic. And George in this case, that's so much better. George in this case lost his life to Sarah Boone and her suitcase. But what I want to do is look at the the full version or whatever of Sarah. Also, what I'm going to do, because this is tricky, so here's the thing. So when we just watched that video, I couldn't hear the video because of the way this is. I don't know how to do that other than to sit here and plug this in. So what I want to do is this, because I want to listen to... oh, thank you, Chrissy. Okay, awesome. I'll check it out. Oh. I'm going to do these other things because with Sarah, I need to hear her voice. And everybody, Christy's birthday is coming up this weekend. Okay, so happy early birthday. Okay, now y'all look. I'm gonna unplug my microphone. This could get so tricky, y'all. So utterly tricky. Oh, you know what I could do? No, I can't do that. I mean, oh, here we go. Please hold. Oh, you know what? I could just go boom. Boom. Boom, boom. Let me hear you say wayo. Settings. I remember everything. Closing time. Oh, okay, so we're going to do a trick. I think it's already plugged in. Can y'all hear me? 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me? 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. A. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me then? Can you hear me then? Can y'all hear me? Is it different or whatever? Okay. So now I'm going to come over here and test this out. I said, my name is Shooby-Doo. Okay, I can hear this. So now what we're going to do, this is fancy. Okay, I'm going to present, share, and then we're going to do another sound test. I said, hey. I said, how. Okay, can y'all hear this drop of 1? Can you hear me talk? Can you hear the video? It's not really making much noise right now, but can you hear it? I'll be quiet. Okay, Upstate says yes. Yes, I can hear. Elon says yes. 1. Oh, that smile. Can y'all hear me talking over the video? The video is basically silent right now. Is this like super loud the way I just did this? That's no audio and video.
Dave Castro on behalf of the state.
Y'all hear the video now?
We set this matter this morning for a status hearing. Ms. Boone, good morning. Counselors, good morning. What is the status for where we find ourselves currently, Ms. Cashman?
I think that Ms. Boone wants to speak to you about that. Mr. Cacciatore and I have had email correspondence and a phone conference this week, and we believe that it can be ready.
Wait, there's an echo. Does anybody hear echo?
For a trial date, late August, early September. I've got a trial certain murder in front of Judge Harris that's going to be a minimum of a week starting August 5th. I am out of state.
Thank you for the feedback.
Starting September 14th, I believe, for a week. And at this point, those are the calendar issues that I have other cases set that I'm, as you know, Judge, waiting on pretrial and waiting to see what really goes and what doesn't. Obviously, I have other things on trial dockets through July, August, and September, but those are the for sures.
Okay, all right, thank you. Mr. Cacciatore, anything from your side of the ledger, sir?
No.
Okay, all right. Madam Clerk, if you could swear in Ms. Boone, please.
Chrissy, did you see that? He does look like, your ex does look like him. That's wild.
Ma'am, good morning. Your lawyer advised that there was something that you wanted to bring to my attention. You've listened to everything in open court. You've been here. You've listened to everything that's been presented so far as to the discussions that Ms. Cashman has had with Mr. Cacciatore and readiness for trial and her dates of availability and unavailability. That's what's been presented to me this morning. You've heard the same thing that I've heard.
Hey, Tori. Wait, can nobody hear Sarah? Like, I'm having a hard time hearing her, but I can hear her talking. I see some people saying it's muted. I'm trying to figure out why all of a sudden it changed. I can also barely hear her. So hold on. Not muted, but low. Okay. If you're listening, your audio is much louder. She may not have a mic nearby. Yeah, for whatever reason, this version of it is very low. Thanks, Rebecca. Maybe it'll get a little bit louder because the last one, oh yeah, turn on captions. Good one. Good one. Good one. Close captions. That was a good one. Here we go. Woo! Y'all, she came in hot. I haven't heard all this. She's prejudiced against her. She's got a nasty attitude, and I do not trust her. You know the judge is screaming. cannot with this. Y'all, it's worse than I thought. It's worse than I thought. I don't sit and eat bonbons all day. I apply myself. I'm a straight A student. I excel at everything. Oh my God, y'all, she is unhinged. Poor George. The things that man, oh my God, I cannot, y'all.
Okay. Where's the letter? Okay. Ms. Cashman?
Yes.
Judge, I've obviously not seen the letter. Ms. Boone is correct. She has walked out of the last 2 visits when I've tried to review things with her. Just so the court knows, I've spent probably 20 hours, a little bit more, a little bit less, with Ms. Boone. She has lots of lists, lots of questions. In reviewing the court file, she was distressed previously about having access to her lawyers. I have taken collect phone calls from her that are at my expense. JC doesn't reimburse you because I think it's important for clients to have access. I have spent...
Please, no one's interrupted you this morning, Ms. Boone.
As I said, I've spent over 20 hours going through her questions, going through her list. When I tried to update her with regard to the depositions that I took recently, she opted to exit the jail conference. When I tried to review some things with regard to discovery as to things I wanted to make sure she was aware of, she walked out. She has asked me repeatedly for a copy of some medical records. Based on the discovery I got from the previous attorneys, one of the copies of those medical records had her handwritten notes. So she had a copy given to her previously. She'd reviewed them with previous attorneys. I sent her a new copy. Some of the things that she thinks are important from a lawyer perspective, perhaps I don't attach the same importance to, and you try to explain that to a client. You know, I know the court's in a difficult position, but at this point, we're at that impasse of, if she walks out of every conference that I have with her, I'm not sure what that says about the attorney-client relationship.
And you said there was something else that you had other than a 58-page submittal or letter.
Hey, Rebecca.
What other information is it that you're seeking to have me take a look at?
There's things that I've been working on in the meantime, and it's things that she likes to tell me is not necessary, but I know for a fact it is necessary. She likes to put things to rest all the time and constantly tells me I'm not having this conversation with you. So I'm not going to waste my time, and I, being in jail, have supposedly abundant amounts of. She's not going to waste my time because she's not going to explain something to me. And I have taken it upon myself to explain it to myself because she refuses to do so. I don't.
This is like the ultimate Karen here, who's like talking about, my lawyer's not doing her job, so I've had to become my own lawyer and explain this to myself. I'll bet you she has two conversations. Like, if she's conversating in jail, she'll sit here at one side of the table and then jump up and sit on the other and like play a whole character and everything. Like, I mean, this is seeing the unedited version of this. I didn't know she was. I mean, I knew she was this unhinged. I didn't know she was this unhinged. Okay, this is Daryl Brooks part 2 right here. Karen edition. This is Karen edition, Daryl Brooks. This is the damn sequel. This is the damn sequel.
Understand what it is that she had against me. I have told her from day one that her naughty attitude was inappropriate, and I tried very hard to bear with her and her attitude. I don't know what it is that I'm doing wrong to her. I feel that her attitude is full of prejudice, which is not in my favor, especially considering she's supposedly representing my life.
Okay. Give me an example of, if you could, of items that you believe are important that Ms. Cashman is not giving attention to or dismissing as you may have framed it.
She likes to tell me that I don't like her answers. She's not giving me any answers to this life, and I have written 3 pages worth of questions, and I'm still waiting for her and any other guys to answer for me, such as, why can't I have a bond? Why can't I have a download of my phone? Why can't I speak to my investigator? Why can't I have my medical records? Why can't I go utilize my constitutional rights? There's 3 pages worth of questions that I have.
What constitutional rights specifically?
I'm very weary about having a fair trial at this point. There's plenty of other amendments that I have been researching and working on and trying to incorporate. To me, what I have written to you is obvious.
Bye, murder nerd.
From the correspondence that I get from the world, South Korea was the last place I received correspondence. They obviously do the same thing. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong other than wanting to have a very successful outcome. It's just been long and drawn out, and I believe that God obviously will continue to satisfy him in order to give me this very unique adventure that I am on, and I'm doing my best to let everyone know who I really am as opposed to the malicious murderer that everyone thinks that I am. I don't feel that she can do that properly. I still always, the reason why I'm here is to hope that she will come in with a gentle, softer side and actually listen to what it is I'm saying and see the bigger picture other than what the one avenue that she keeps going down. There's other ways to win and more than one way. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do, but I'm not saying that I'm trying to remove her. I'm just trying to ask you, please, forgive me for having to ask you for this. If you could please let her know, please, to just be nice to me and have a welcoming attitude and this will probably change. I will not get up and I walk out. Please don't lie to me. Please don't give me half-truths. And
What instances where there's been falsities or lies that have been told to you by Ms. Cashman? Can you give me an example?
my biggest one, Your Honor, is for me being here ongoing 5 years, no one has ever bothered to try to get me a bond.
What's the lie? You said that she has lied to you. What is the lie?
The process of getting a bond. She lied to my brother in regards to telling him that she would need to come down to the courthouse to have multiple photographs taken for documentation. He would have to bring the security information, deeds to his house, financial statements, so on and so forth. And the icing on the cake was to be aware of all of the news camera crews and everyone that's going to be there in order to document him being there to do what he's going to for the bond. What is the bondsman for? She's supposed to just do the motion for the bond, and then from there, the bondsman and I and whoever else.
It's the fact that she acts like she's gonna actually get the bond. Like in her mind, it's like, oh, you just give me a bond hearing and I get the bond, and then my brother will come bond me out. I mean, it's just that simple. It's just like, what? And again, it's just like, look, this is a murder charge in Florida. This is not how this is all broken. This is all broken. And also she's looking out for the brother who's probably more realistic, and it's like, he doesn't want you want to bestow this on him? Yeah, Mary says, no, Paul, fans are going to pay her for the bond. I forgot. You're right. Well, and see, that's that. This shows, you're right, Mary. This shows her delusion because she legit thinks, well, you could sit here and give me a $2 million bond. My fans will pay for it. Girl, they're working you over for content. That is what they are doing. They are working you over for content. They're sending you honey bun money and getting content from you. That's all they're doing.
So what part of that is a lie? But the statement that you said is that Ms. Cashman, who's an officer of the court, has lied to you. What you've provided me so far is not evidence of any lies based on the severity of the charge.
I believe, because she's not fully explained to me other than what she asked me for that I tried to provide to her, was that I just need to give her an address. And that's what I gave to her, and then it turned into everything else. And then it turned into all these other different stories of why she won't do or why she has said certain things. It always changes in a new case after I ask her for certain things, not just for the bond, but for other things also.
But notice that Sarah, literally, the gaslighting and projection is so extreme. Anything you say to people like Sarah or Daryl Brooks, they change it. They mutate it. They move the goalposts. They go over here. I want a bond. Well, this is not the truth. Oh, well, she said it this way. Well, this is what it said. Okay, well, then she did this. She constantly switches it because at the end of the day, it's like, you're not going to get a bond, Sarah. Period. You're not getting a bond. Get it out of your mind. It ain't going to happen.
Okay, well, let's focus on the bond issue, because you said that she's lied to you, and what you've told me so far, none of that is inaccurate.
So how is it though, because I don't have any experience prior to this, I don't know the process of getting a bond other than what I have read, and it's just for her to do a bond, a motion for a bond hearing. But I didn't know that anyone, all of the other inmates, and even officers have ever said that they've had to do that process in order to have photographs taken and documented and use proofs and visit to his house. He's not posting my bond, which I told her a million and one times, but she still spooked him by asking by him something that he's going to have to, and it would threaten his security clearance considering he's in the service, the military. So
Yeah.
he totally deterred me from having my brother's address in order for me to have a motion for a bond. No one else has even bothered to even ask me for one, and I will be honest with you in the court. I know for a fact that however sky high my limit would be for my bond to receive, I know for a fact unless my friend would set up those funding pages, or God will, however, handle from and have it paid, if at all, my plan is to utilize my rights to have a bond.
How the judge did not fall off the stand over that part right there is beyond me, okay? And no, she doesn't ever stop talking. Like, she just goes, it's one constant run-on sentence of streamless thought. I know for a fact that my fans, right there, the judge is like, and this is why you're not getting a bond. This is how unhinged you are. This is insane. This is insane. God bless her cellmate and the officers looking over her and anybody else in the damn room with her. You know, this is all they hear about 24 hours a day. 24 hours a day, this is what they hear about.
And with the information I have included in here for you, for the amount of saturation of publicity, there's nowhere that I could go even if I were to be an input like this, because of the amount of information that everybody already knows about me, what I look like, and what I eat apparently, and so many other things. There's nowhere I could go. If I don't even think about things like this. It's just the fact that I would like things to have a bond, so I can say that I've actually achieved something while I was incarcerated.
Okay.
There's other things, there's so many other questions that I have to ask.
Which are outlined in your submittals there, right?
That's right.
Okay, all right. Ms. Cashman, briefly.
Judge, there's clearly a conflict with what I'm going to tell you are false allegations Ms. Boone is making about me, and my continued representation of her. As I said, I've spent 20 hours with this client going over her questions and her issues in detail. With regard to the brother and the bond hearing, yes, I contacted her brother. I explained to her brother and I explained to her. You can't just write a bond motion and the judge grants it because of the allegations. You have to come forward with proof. I asked her brother if he was willing to come to court and testify. He raised the issue to me about his security clearance and would the media be there. He never told me he had to provide pictures or a deed to a house. What I said was, I mean, he's been in the courtroom for all the hearings, and it's likely that they would be here for the bond hearing, and that your face could be on the television, and it was a concern for him.
I mean, that's all.
Gonna just leave it at that. Then, you know, Judge, I can't spend all my time defending what I'm doing and at the same time be effectively preparing a case for trial. You know, in these situations, I know it puts the court in a very difficult position. As I see it, Ms. Boone has a couple options. Number one, she can ask you to represent herself.
Amen. Let's do it. Let's go up. Let's do it.
She has the right to. You have a Feretta hearing and determine whether she's capable. The court then has to address the issue of whether it's appropriate to appoint standby counsel. Obviously, since she believes not a word that I say after 40 years of doing criminal defense, I'm probably not the right lawyer for that. You know, the other thing is she gets one last lawyer, it either works or it doesn't. And, you know, and sometimes, unfortunately, the court gets put in a position that you have to have that conversation with a client that you don't, you know, if you want your counsel of choice, then you need to hire your counsel of choice, and everyone can certainly do that. And if you're indigent, you know, the court can only go through this so many times with Ms. Boone coming to the court and there ending up being irreconcilable differences, such that the counsel that you have appointed can't move forward and provide effective assistance to counsel.
Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I'm inclined to go ahead and figure out where we can set this thing for trial.
Amen.
And then kind of work backwards from there. I'm not dismissing your concerns, Ms. Boone. I'm going to take what it is that you've given to me. I'm going to circulate that to both Mr. Cacciatore and Ms. Cashman. I will review it, and I will schedule a hearing to address any of the issues in your submittals if one is necessary. Okay? All right. Ms. Cashman, you had advised some of your unavailability for vacations that you have previously scheduled and or other time certain trials that you have in front of Judge Harris.
And on June 21st, I have a trial case management with Judge Marquez on a case that's likely at this point, and obviously we'll find out the final date at case management, likely to be set July 22nd, but if that gets pushed out, that makes August and September a little more difficult considering the trials I already have set then. The dates I'm out in September while I'm looking at the calendar is the 14th to the 19th.
That's not a trial period for my division, so that shouldn't be a conflict. The trial case management that you have on July 21.
June 21,
I'm sorry. When is her trial period, Judge Marquez's trial period following that?
She doesn't really have a trial period because she's the post-conviction division, and I'm not clear how she sets things, and I think that...
You have a range for where her calendar may be available for that? Okay.
No. I think it's based on when she has post-conviction motions set, and that it's my understanding from Judge Chu that she was scheduled to be back up for part of his July-August trial period, but because she doesn't have a regular trial docket, I can't really answer that question.
How long do you think it would take us to, A, pick a jury, B, try the case? Including jury selection?
Yeah, the day for jury selection.
Ms. Cashman?
5 days is probably a fair estimate unless something changes, Judge.
Okay. So the court already has special set trials in July and August. we could set this matter at the beginning. My August trial period is the first week. My last week of my period is first full week of August, and it starts again on the last full week of August. So we could set it then, but I know that you have trial case management with Judge Marquez on the 20th or the 21st of June, which may impact that.
And I have a trial certain with Judge Harris August 5th, and August seems a bit difficult for me.
For a week for Mr. Robinson. So the options that I see it are, we could specially set this for the week of August 26th, or we set it for the trial period beginning September 30. The hiccup with that first week of September 30 is we have a court holiday on Thursday, October the 3rd, which would limit us to a 4-day trial period, which I don't believe is not sufficient. So that would take us to either October 7 or October 14.
Can you imagine a 4-day trial period? If we could only wish. I beg her to let her represent herself. At minimum, she's taking the stand. Sarah's got a lot to say. She's going to want to get up there, and she's going to want to say her piece. It's going to be bad. Let's keep going.
So based on the court's trial calendar, that's what I've got available. August 26th, October 7, or October 14th.
I think the October 7 or October 14th is more realistic, Judge. I know that Mr. Cacciatore has other trials too, and other things on other judges' pre-trial dockets and those things.
We're specially set in July. Mr. Cacciatore? Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to specially set this matter for the second week of the September 30 trial period, beginning Monday, October 7th. We will set this matter for trial case management on the 24th of September, right? On September 24 at 9 a.m. We'll do you at 1:30 in the afternoon. Tuesday, September 24 at 1:30 in the afternoon for our trial case management. Trial date certain on October
100%.
Deputy, if you could please grab the 2 packages of submittals from Ms. Boone. Oh, I thought it was 2 different envelopes, ma'am. Okay. I will review that, and after the review, the court will either issue an order or set this matter for hearing based on what it is that's been presented by Ms. Boone. Mr. Cacciatore, anything else we need to address this morning, sir? Ms. Cashman, anything else we need to address?
Not that I'm aware of at this time, Judge.
Ms. Boone, is there anything else you need to bring to my attention at this time?
I'm grateful for your time. I just didn't know how to utilize it. It really useful if you review thoroughly what it is that I'm asking for from my attorney who's currently representing me for the trial supposedly happening in October, late September. So if you could please, I don't understand how I'm supposed to be able to go into a trial when I don't have what it is on the defendant themselves.
Ma'am, I've asked for your submittals. I will be reviewing them. All right, thank you. All right, y'all, thank you very much. Have a great day.
Thanks, Judge.
And is Ms. Walker still here? Okay.
Here comes the smile.
Okay, is Mr. Escarga here? Okay. All right, can we call?
I mean, y'all. It was worse than I thought. I'm glad we watched the whole thing, because I was like, oh, I hope it's not going to be just the same stuff we saw. No, y'all, there was so much more. Yeah, that was insane. She is off her damn rocker. Yeah, she completely has to represent herself. Because she's going to go down, she's going to yell timber, okay? She's going down. She's yelling timber. I don't know what to say. Oh wait, let me turn it down some. It's probably loud. There we go. That might be better. Y'all, yeah, whoever's her lawyer is going to be put through it. That judge is done with this. You know here's the next meltdown. You know he's not going to have a hearing because there's nothing in that envelope that's going to require a hearing. This is what everyone's been telling her. She's like, I'm not going to do it. Just like she alluded to, she's being very professional, where she's basically trying to say, you don't just file a bond hearing and then get a bond, based on my fans will create a GoFundMe. I mean, she's gone. She is smoked. Okay. Absolutely. Yeah, she 100%. She's smiling for those fans. She literally is famous in her mind. And I mean, she's infamous for sure in the true crime world. That was you. I mean, here is the thing. Everyone in that court, the judge, everyone's exhausted. Everyone is exhausted. I mean, that was exhausting. And we're not even there. This is old. This is old news. Jen, I'm assuming they're writing her. Again, it's going to be like... it's going to be another Daryl Brooks. So here's the thing. If she has her way, she's going to... have his family on the stand, rip them apart because she doesn't like them, because they don't like her. I can't imagine why they wouldn't have liked her. Yeah, T-Rex. Complete energy vampire. I was tempted to send her a letter, but then I was like, I almost don't want the mojo in my mailbox. Yeah, she'll victimize his family. She'll do all sorts of stuff up there. 100%. And then obviously victimize everybody. Yeah, she literally... Somebody earlier said she's the final boss Karen. 100%. 100%. I mean, my God. Again, just imagine... Imagine her at the damn candle sale at Bed Bath & Beyond. Imagine her at the damn candle sale. Imagine her. Okay, so I went on a rabbit hole. Y'all help me out here. Who is the person that wrote the little coffee things, and it would be like mug? Anything that you would have in the house, it would be like mug. Water bottle, and it looked like pottery. I can't think of her name. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? And it's like real big, and it's like everywhere. Like she sold her name and the licensing to it, and it's not like everywhere at TJ Maxx and all this type of stuff. And people obsess over it, and they line up over it and stuff like that. Rodun, thank you. Ray Dunn, yep, thank you. Imagine her at a Ray Dunn sale. Yeah, I went on a Ray Dunn rabbit hole one time. There's this TikTok creator, I think, or Instagram, whatever, who worked at TJ Maxx, and her content was basically talking about the Ray Dunn thing or whatever. And these people that would just fly, like all the drama that ensued over these people that would like literally stalk the Ray Dunn stuff at her TJ Maxx that she worked at. Fascinating. I love that, Rumba. Yeah, just for a candle. Oh, 100%. It's crazy. So look, y'all, I got to go to bed. I got to get up early. This was so much fun. And obviously we went from the gamut of tragic. I mean, and not to say that Sarah's case is not tragic too, but it's just a different vibe because she's so over the top. Obviously Madeline's case is very, very sad and tragic. So we kind of did the gamut of things tonight, and I appreciate y'all being there for it the whole time. So that's it. I do appreciate y'all hanging out. Thank you very much. Emily, thank you for holding down the fort as you always do. We do love you. We do appreciate you. And I thank y'all for being here and hanging out with me. So be on the lookout for some new videos this week. And we'll figure out when we're going to meet up again, and I'll post it during the week. I hope all of y'all have a lovely, lovely week ahead of you. Thank you very much for being here. Y'all sleep tight. Don't let those bed bugs bite, and we will talk to you